What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, we are back with another Hot Toys Star Wars figure unboxing and review video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Commander Cody. We are doing his chrome version from the movie Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Now, this figure was just released around March, April of this year. It was one of those figures where pretty much as soon as he was announced, he was pretty much ready to be shipped out, and he was announced around that Star Wars Sith event by Hot Toys. We actually got to do a preview video of this guy, so pretty excited to get a look at him. Number one, this is my first ever clone trooper figure of any kind, so very excited to see what it looks like, the feel of it. You know, I have a lot of expectations for the figure, so very excited to go ahead and get started with the unboxing. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to recommend to you guys where to buy this guy, he was an exclusive order, so I don't think there's any Commander Cody's left to be purchased, right? So unfortunately, I'm not sure I'm able to recommend where you guys can buy this one. But again, as I mentioned before, very excited to go ahead and get this unboxing started for Commander Cody. As I mentioned before, this is a very alternative look to this guy. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Starting off with the design of the box, guys. So pretty much, as you guys know, with all Star Wars figures, we're gonna get the same box design. So we get pretty much a black colored box with an image of Commander Cody right there in the middle. At the top right, we do get a sideshow exclusive logo, meaning this is just an exclusive figure, so only a selected amount of figures were released for the guy. We do get a Star Wars logo in the middle, and then a banner where the coloring of the banner is the same as the figure, so it's kind of like a silver chrome type of coloring. We get the name of the figure, our Star Wars logo, and then behind the figure on that banner, I believe, is one of the spaceships for the clone. So I think that's a pretty nice idea. On the right side, pretty much just a black colored background, the name of the figure at the bottom, and that banner that continues throughout the whole box. On the back, we get the name of the figure at the top, and pretty much just warning and legal information by Hot Toys. On the left side, same as the right side, just the black background along with the banner continuing, but this time we do get a really cool image of Commander Cody with his rifles. Along with the background, we get the galaxy and one of the spaceships or aircrafts from Star Wars. Top and bottom, we get Star Wars logos along with that black background that continues throughout the box. So no surprises here, pretty much the same as other boxes, but I do really like the banner. I think it looks really cool. Now, this is what I am talking about. So as I mentioned on other unboxings for Star Wars, basically what Hot Toys does is that they'll continue the regular box as Lucasfilms requires them to do so, but what they'll do is that either they'll do a second box underneath it or a really nice banner. This time we get a kind of like a wallpaper type of banner with 3 different images of the figure itself. On the background, we get an image, a logo of the Galactic Republic. I think the imagery is absolutely awesome, and as you guys can see at the bottom, we get a Star Wars logo and the name of the figure as well. Also in the background, I believe, is one of the spaceships for the Galactic Republic, so it looks really nice. Now, we already have the figure here, so I think no need to snap my fingers again to get it out. So as you guys can see, it has not a lot of accessories, but it does look really nice what I'm looking at so far right now. I cannot wait to get my hands on this guy. I've been pretty excited about him because, number one, again, as I mentioned before, my first ever clone trooper, and I thought that the look was really nice to it. So now that I have him in hand, my first impressions are honestly pretty good. He looks better than I actually expected, and he's actually lighter than I thought. I thought he would be really heavy, but he's not. He's not that light either, but at the same time, lighter than what I expected. But I really like the look. Now, unfortunately, my camera is not going to show the look that great because of the lighting, so the suit looks darker in camera than what I'm actually seeing in person, but I really like the look of it. I cannot complain, so I would say off to a good start. So with this figure, pretty much, guys, we're going to take a look at the accessories, and then we'll take a look at the figure in detail. Unfortunately, I won't do any side-by-side comparisons since I don't have any other type of clone troopers, but then at the end, we'll do a couple of poses, and I'll give my final thoughts on the guy. Okay, so with the accessories, so as I mentioned before, we really don't get a lot of things with this guy. Now, I think we get enough to have a good figure. So first, the display base. I actually love this display base. Even though it looks simple, I really love the reflective kind of look to that Galactic Republic logo in the hexagonal base. The black coloring is pretty much a scratchy surface, and at the bottom we get a Star Wars and Commander Cody nameplate. The difference is that this time the nameplate isn't your regular silver plaque that goes right there. It's just pretty much kind of printed out on the actual display base. We do also get a crotch grabber that will go underneath the figure to kind of pretty much have him stand still. So no issues with the display base. I think this is better than what your typical Star Wars display base would be. We do also get two helmets. We get phase 1 and phase 2. For those of you guys who don't know, phase 1 pretty much is at the beginning of the Clone Wars. Phase 2 would be pretty much almost at the end of the Clone Wars, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. With the two helmets, I think they're both really nice, and we'll try them on the figure a little bit later on, and I will discuss them more in detail. But I cannot help but say how much I love both of these helmets. The coloring on the chrome is just very, very shiny, and again, it looks absolutely awesome. We do get two rifles. I am shocked how big and how long this rifle is. I really don't even know how I'm gonna post it with the figure itself, right? But just know that it comes with both rifles. Both rifles are pretty much the same coloring, kind of like a dark gray, kind of light black coloring to them, and they're both pretty much just made out of sculpted plastic. No issues with these rifles whatsoever, right? To me, I think as long as I have some accessories to post the trooper with, I'm really not gonna have any issue, right? And this one will be a little bit more manageable with the figure. It's a smaller rifle, so this one I think would be easier to have the figure post with. And as I mentioned before, right, I think both rifles look pretty nice, right? Expected, yes, right? I saw them with the preview that we did a couple of months ago, so just know that it comes with that. We also do get this jetpack that is supposed to go connected to the backside of the figure itself. One thing that I really love about this jetpack is that it has its own magnet. So I pretty much can assume that once I connect this thing to the figure, it's going to be very nicely connected, and it's going to be very hard to calm off. So I am very glad about that. It also comes with these two type of thing, these two little small accessories. If I'm not mistaken, these are kind of like communicating radio pieces. One goes connected to the left shoulder of the figure, and then the other one goes connected to the helmet, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it goes connected to phase 2's helmet, right? Kind of the thick one, if I can mention it that way. So just know that it does come with those pieces. And then we do get 7 different hand pieces. One thing that I'm shocked about the hand pieces is that we don't get any close fists of any kind. So we pretty much get a thumbs up on the right, and then on the left we kind of have like a semi wide open hand. I would pretty much assume that this left hand is to kind of hold the rifle once I'm kind of shooting with it, I would assume. And we'll try those on whenever I do the poses at the end of the video, right? I do really like the fact that the chrome continues with these hand pieces to pretty much follow up on the armor, and then the gloves are very well painted, so I really don't have any issues with it. I do also like the poses. I like the fact that it has different poses. So for example, with these ones, the left hand I would assume is to kind of put those two fingers on his communicating radio on his helmet, and then the other one is to hold the rifle on the left side. The other two hands would be pretty much one holding pointing the finger at somebody, and the other one is a wide open hand piece. No issues with it whatsoever. As I mentioned before, right, I'm shocked that we don't get any close fists at all, right? So again, is it an issue to me? A little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really like the close fist. I thought it would have been nice to have one. And then at the end we have this right hand which would be pretty much to hold the rifles. So this one and this hand right here are the only hands that actually repeat themselves. The other ones are different poses for different for the left and right side. So these are the only hands that are repetitive with all of the accessories. So pretty much this would be it, guys. Not any issues at all. I think that the figure has enough accessories for me to be able to display it. So like what we have so far, now that we have the accessories in hand and we pretty much have reviewed them all, now it's time to get to the figure and review him in detail. Okay, so let's get to the figure, right? So as I mentioned before, guys, I did want to go ahead and get a good look at this guy in detail. So I do have phase 2 helmet. Phase 2 is pretty much close to the Galactic Empire taking over the Republic. I did go ahead and attach the on the left ear the radio communicating piece that it comes with, and then I did also go ahead and connect the jetpack, right, that goes to his backside, as you guys can see there. So first of all, I have no issues with this figure at all, right? It looks exactly as it is in obviously the movie, right? But obviously this is an alternative look, and guys, I can't tell you how great this thing looks. As you guys can see with the jetpack, it looks really nicely connected, and as I mentioned before, I am so glad they went with magnet, because it attaches very well to his backside. The look of it, it's great. It's kind of like this reflective type of shiny coloring to the paint, I'm sorry, to the armor, right? And I think it's supposed to be that, right? The chrome is always supposed to be this way, so it looks really, really nice. I love how the pieces of armor go connected to the figure itself. There's no kind of like tape that could come off. Pretty much there's like a strap that goes around the shoulders and elbows and legs, so I feel like that really makes the armor pieces very well connected. To me, there's nothing loose with this figure, so it just looks really, really nice. And again, as I mentioned before, right, the silver coloring or chrome coloring is just very, very shiny and reflective, so it looks phenomenal on this thing. Also, pretty much the black suit underneath it is pretty much made out of fabric, so I think it looks really nice as well. It just matches perfectly, so I really, really like this figure. So now that we have the first helmet on it, let's go ahead and try the second helmet, which is from phase 1. Now we have phase 1. So first and foremost, there is no question, phase 1 is my favorite helmet of the two, right? Let me know in the comments, guys, which helmet you guys think is better on the figure. For me, I'm going with helmet 1. I think the helmet 1 is just a little bit thinner, so it just looks nicer to me. I like to call phase 1's helmet the Mohawk style helmet, if you guys don't mind. It just looks like a Mohawk, right? But it looks really, really nice as well. I think each look that you guys want to go with this guy, I really can't blame you guys at all. It just looks very, very well. So pretty much, let's go ahead and take a look at the articulations, which is something that I really wanted to take a look at with this figure. So as you guys can see, the legs pretty much just go back until there, and then if you guys push it to the side, it goes all the way until there pretty much. I really don't want to try to stretch this thing too much. I don't want any of the armor pieces breaking. If you guys put the fleck up front, it goes all the way till there. So again, no issues with it whatsoever. I think it looks nice. The knee does bend all the way till there, and it possibly could bend a little bit more, but again, I just don't want to break this guy. And then the foot itself does pretty much go top to the top that way. It goes to the sides pretty nicely without any issues, although I really don't see why we would pose the figure that way, but I did want to at least just show how extreme it goes. Now, one thing that the figure does not have a lot of articulations is going to the front or going to the back. It really doesn't move a lot going back and to the front as far as like the chest, but it does go sideways at least, so we do have at least that option. The hands do move pretty nicely. It seems that the armor doesn't get kind of like folded or bented in any way, so we're able to pretty much move the hands in any possible way, right? With this figure, I would say that we need to move the hands a lot. I'm sorry, the arms, because obviously posing the pistols or having him put his hands on his head, on his helmet for communication purposes or things like that. So that's why with this figure specifically, I do really want to have a lot of articulation with the hands, and as you guys can see, it does, right? If you guys go to the top, it goes all the way there, and to the back all the way till there pretty much. So again, articulations with the guy is pretty good. And then helmet, same thing. So with the helmet, pretty much you guys can actually go all the way around if you guys want to, so no issues with the articulations with the helmet either. I think it looks pretty nice. It moves pretty nicely, and it does have a ball joint, and that's how it goes connected. If you guys go down, it goes all the way there, and to the top all the way till there. So one thing that I can definitely say about this figure is our articulations aren't an issue at all, only with the chest and back, going front and back, but I really don't think that's going to affect affect the figure at all. To me, just everything is nice about the figure, no issues with it whatsoever. Paint applications, articulations, everything looks great. Okay guys, so pretty much we have reached the end of the video. I hate the fact that this video is shorter than most, right? Unfortunately, because this is my first ever clone trooper, I really don't have any other figure that I can compare him to, so there is no side-by-side comparisons this time. I just think it's unfair to just compare him to any Star Wars figure, period, right? Now the good thing is that I do have a gold version clone trooper coming up in the next day, so once I do that unboxing and review video, we will be able to do a better comparison with the figures, which look do I like best for an alternative look to the clone troopers. But for me, this chrome version is a really good look. At some point I'll get the original Commander Cody, so once I do, I'll let you guys know which is my favorite look between the two. But for me, for this to be my first ever clone trooper, I think this is as good as it gets. It is a really nice figure, and it is one that if he was available, I would highly recommend. Sadly, because he was an exclusive figure, I think you guys are only able to buy him off of websites like eBay and things like that, right? So that it will be totally up to you guys if you want to go ahead and purchase him. But what I can say is that I have no regrets of buying this figure. It is a really good look to him, so I really like it. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you guys think about this Commander Cody figure, and if you guys would like me to collect more clone trooper figures. I really want to keep adding to my Star Wars collection, so we're off to a good start with this figure specifically. Before I do end the video, guys, as always, want to thank you for the continued support. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and for watching my videos. As I always like to mention, if this is the first time that you're watching me, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell so that way you're always updated with any videos that I drop in the future. A reminder that I am also on Instagram and TikTok. There is where I post images of my figures that I collect, and also daily updates about what's coming up through the channel, so make sure you always follow me there so that you guys are updated with my channel. The links to those websites are on the description of the video. So once again, as I mentioned, guys, thank you so much for supporting me and watching this video of Commander Cody. The last thing that I did want to go ahead and say is that, again, this won't be my last clone trooper figure. I hope to collect much more, right? I really love this figure, right? And I thought that it was very easy to pose him in different ways. So guys, that's pretty much it for this figure. Thank you so much for tuning in today to this video, and I will see you next time.